Well, in today's market, there's certainly no shortage of powerful DSPs for you, the dealer, to choose from. But have you ever seen one that's ultra small, compact footprint, loaded with all the features you're looking for, and on top of that is IP rated? Well, Diamond Audio seems to have figured it out because they're coming to you hard with both a 6 and an 8 channel. Today, we've got product expert Brian Piper in the studio with us, and we're going to break down this really mighty yet compact DSP system that Diamond Audio's got going on. This is CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM, all about Diamond Audio. And it starts now. What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu, and on the menu today is some small and mighty processing power courtesy of Diamond Audio. We're talking about some multi-channel IP-rated DSPs, and we've got Brian Piper, their product expert, in the studio with us. Now, Brian, this is a unique product in this category. It's got some characteristics that we know guys are looking for, but Diamond's come to the table with two amazing offerings. Other than these two units, what can we expect to discuss on today's show?
Absolutely, Ben. These are some great little units, lots of features, and we're going to talk about what they can and are able to do. And I may even show you guys a little bit of how the GUI works on these units.
All right, Brian, we're going to get into it. But first, we're going to give an opportunity to our partner, SiriusXM, to remind you dealers out there why you should love it. And when we come back, let's talk about these powerful DSPs from Diamond Audio with Brian Piper.
Hey guys, Ricky Lima here from SiriusXM. I had a chance to speak to some dealers and ask them what they love about selling SiriusXM. Here's what they had to say.
Coast-to-coast coverage.
I love SiriusXM for commercial-free music.
It's a great add-on sale and a profit opportunity.
We love selling SiriusXM because you can listen to the same channel coast to coast.
Profitability and ease of installation. It's a no-brainer.
We love selling SiriusXM for its ease of installation, great profitability, and reliability.
People love it.
All right, welcome back, everybody. So, Brian, these two devices, these DSPs that you got going on, they're packing a lot of punch, and they're claiming a lot of things here. So let's get to the bottom of this. The story here, these are very unique items within this space. So how did it go from creating that DSP? Where did you get the feedback? Where did you get the design elements? And what did you end up with? What is the actual offering?
So when we did DSP the first time, it worked, but it wasn't our favorite project. So when we started looking at how we were going to go forward with the next evolution of DSP, we really wanted to take some of the comments that dealers and consumers had given us for size restrictions and the ability for these things to work in just about any environment possible. So when we went to the drawing board, that was a lot of our concern, is how can we make this thing perform and fit the needs of our customers? So with that, we were able to develop these two offerings. They are small, they are compact, they fit in just about every vehicle. They can be used in anything, motorcycles, side-by-sides, hot rods, spaceships, whatever. Put it in whatever you want. It's going to work. It's going to do what we want it to do.
I'm still waiting for the day that somebody comes on to CMA and shows me how to tune a spaceship. But until then, why don't we talk about the actual models that are available? I know there for sure are two different ones. So can we talk about the difference between these two offerings?
Yeah, Ben. So we have two options. We have the MSDSP66, which is a 6-channel in, 6-channel out, 15-band parametric EQ, built-in Bluetooth streaming, crossover adjustments, time delay, all the fancy features in a 3-inch by 3-inch by 1-inch chassis. Then we have the 8-channel version, the MSDSP88, which is an 8-channel in, 8-channel out. This one has a 31-band parametric EQ, still has time delay, still has crossover configurations, and the gain adjustments just like the others.
All right, so we're dealing with two very powerful units, a 6-channel and an 8-channel. Now, my next special guest is a perfect time to bring him in. You've seen him before. Of course, we're talking about Dave McLean from Dick's Performance North, who happens to be the Canadian distributor for all things Diamond Audio. Now, Dave, these are two units that are kind of changing the game and opening up options just on the size alone. I think you have one there that you can kind of show so we can really get an appreciation for what this form factor really is about.
Yeah, great to be on CMA again, Ben. As you can see, we've got both DSPs here on the turntable today. We've got our MSDSP 6.6 and the MSDSP 8.8. Obviously, because of their footprint, we can put them just about anywhere in just about any system building application. Because of the 15 and 30 win band EQs, we can tune out and tune in just about anything we need to. Being that they're IP rated, there's no limitation to where you can put them. In the kick panel, behind the radio, under the seat, under the carpet, in the spare tire well, you name it, it's a safe place to put this because it's IP7 rated. And because of all of the different ends that Diamond has put on them, there's lots of configurations we can run with this that we just couldn't do with any other DSP.
So, okay, these are tiny DSPs. We get it. But you just mentioned something, Dave. It's IP rated. Now, I've seen a lot of DSPs come through to this show, and I got to tell you, I've heard conformally coated, I've heard weather resistant. I have yet to hear IP rated. So maybe, Brian, you could help us break out exactly the technical specification of how the engineers at Diamond have made this thing really robust for all elements.
When we looked at making a DSP that fit all these needs, one of the biggest concerns is when we're doing them on motorcycles or side-by-sides or boats. And so conformal coated is okay, but eventually that's going to break down. So what we went with is a completely sealed chassis. So when you look at these, you'll see that on the harnesses, they're completely sealed inside the chassis. So these things are waterproof as can be. Even the little plug here you can see has the gain adjustment for the EQ, but it's got a plug to seal it up and keep it watertight as well. So basically what we tell our dealers and anybody using these, this thing is as waterproof as you make it at these connections.
All right, so another really added value feature here, guys, is the fact that this unit actually comes with Bluetooth streaming. What do I mean by this? Well, we've seen a lot of units come through where Bluetooth streaming is an option, meaning you have to order a separate piece to add to make this functional. Well, with this DSP from Diamond, it's actually included in the box.
Yeah, Ben, not only included, it's built in. It's also IP rated because it's right inside the chassis. Now, Diamond did it a little differently than others. A lot of other people use their Bluetooth for tuning as well. This is not a tuning chip. This is a Bluetooth 5.0 chip strictly for Bluetooth streaming from the highest quality possible. They know that these are going in vehicles that might not have a head unit. And there are lots of vehicles like that. There's lots of side-by-sides and boats and lawn tractors and skid steers and hot rods where guys don't want to put in a head unit anymore. And why do they need to? They can buy the 6.6 DSP, tune the system properly, and then stream their favorite media directly to the system.
All right, so we've covered a couple of the fun features, but let's get into the nitty-gritty from an install standpoint and a fitment standpoint, because with any DSPs, obviously OEM integration is going to come into play with a lot of different scenarios. So when it comes to getting signal to the DSP to process, what type of input capability do these DSPs offer?
So both of these units are very flexible in their integration. You can use high level or low level straight into the RCA plugs on the side of these. They will take up to a 24-volt input from a high level signal. They give you up to 6.5 volts of output through the DSP. The other great thing about it is you can take the inputs and through the IO configuration panel in the software, and you can do summing, or you can address 2 channels to run everything, or you can run independent channels for each one, depending on what your options are for your input to your output. It's a great tool with lots of functionality on the input addressment side.
Well, there's the question answered. 24 volt, up to 24 volt on the input side, and outputting a strong 6.5 volts out to your amplifiers. Those are pretty darn good numbers as far as in and outs go. Now, as promised in the beginning of the show, we're going to show you guys, or Brian's going to show you guys, a little bit of the interface or the GUI, so you can get a better understanding of how this is set up and just how easy this is to use.
So here we have the user interface for the DSP. Now I want to make sure everybody understands this is a USB connection. You must be connected to a computer. There's no Bluetooth connection or app or anything like that that you do from a handheld device. This has to be done through a Windows-based computer. So what I want to do is I want to walk through some of the pieces so that you're familiar with how this works and understand that the majority of it's all done on a single panel. So right here, what we've got is we've got your connect. This is how you connect to the device once you're plugged in and it's powered up. You have your analog input through RCA. You have your Bluetooth for streaming. And then down here, you have your presets, which is where you're going to save your tunes to your device. Or if you need to load from an existing tune to another one, you can do that as well. Okay. Down here at the bottom left, you're going to have your high and low pass crossover adjustments, where you have Butterworth, Bessel, and Linkwitz available for crossover types. You have an infinitely adjustable frequency selection, and then you've got different slopes from 6 dB all the way to 48 dB per octave crossover slopes. So this can be set up as high pass, low pass, or both of them together to create a band pass option. The next thing we're going to talk about is this is your adjustment screen. So with the parametric EQ, you've got all of your 31 bands down here for the 8 channel. If this was the DSP66, you'd have 15 bands down here. But the great thing about this with parametric is these all are infinitely adjustable on the frequency. The gain is adjustable from 0.5 to plus 10. And then you have a variable Q as well. So you can make this really narrow or really wide to fit the need of whatever frequency band you're working with and how to make adjustments when you're looking through the RTA. So the great thing is this is touchscreen as well. If you wanted to grab this and drag it over, or if you had a pen and you were doing it in that type of application, like with a Windows-based tablet, you could do that as well. But just so you can kind of see the way, oh, sorry, guys. The way that this works is you just pull each band up and down, adjust it where you need it to be. You can reset it if you need to. Okay. Then you can also get into time delay, which is a great aspect for any kind of vehicle. We have really embraced this and have been teaching this on the motorsports application. But again, in cars and other options, this is always a great tool to have if it's needed. Then up here in the upper right section, you're going to have all of your different channels of output. So you can adjust and level match gains in here to balance sound. You can link channels together. So you can link 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, or 7 and 8, and have 2 channels linked together if you need to do kind of like a global tuning on those 2 channels. You have mute. So you can mute channels if you're just working with 2 and you don't want to hear what else is going on. You have a phase inversion that will do 0 or 180. And then you have a master volume as well here on the left of that section of the panel. The other thing I really want to show you guys is the in-out configuration, which is up here off of the file section. Come down to IO config. And this will show you all of your inputs down the side. These are your input channels. And then across the top are your output channels. So depending on how you wanted to configure this, like the way I have this set up now is I have channels 1 through 4 of the output being controlled by input channels 1 and 2. And then 5 through 8 are controlled by the inputs of 3 and 4. With a lot of vehicles, your option for input is only going to be 2 or 4 channel. So when you get to this point, you can maximize that however you need to. Or if you're doing something in a situation where you need to sum inputs, you can do that as well. You could do one, if you needed to sum channels 1 and 3 for a full range signal out on channel 1, you could do that here. You could just start summing channels together to get that full range signal that you need on those channels as they come about.
All right, that's a quick and easy demo of the GUI for the Diamond Audio DSP. My last question is going to go back to Dave over at Dick's Performance. You know, as much as I don't want to admit this, I feel that it needs to be said that these 3 letters, DSP, continue to be an item or a source of fear and not so much confidence from a lot of dealers out there yet. As our car audio continues, or our mobile audio continues to expand to multiple platforms in motorcycle, in boats, and so on, the use of DSP is obviously becoming more and more mandatory and prevalent. What message do you have for dealers tuning in saying, you know what, it's something I want to get into? Is the Diamond route the way to go for me?
You know, a lot of guys are scared of DSPs. You're right there, Ben. There's no reason to be. Diamond makes it easy. Not only do they have some of the most intuitive software and easiest software to understand for a new guy, we have dealers that have never done DSP before, have bought one, put one in on a Friday, and by Friday night, they're on the road enjoying their music. So, you know, it's become a lot more intuitive than it did in the past. Not only does Diamond have the most intuitive system available these days for the novice installer, they have great advanced support as well. So Diamond's constantly working on this. Not only do they have a great Facebook page to help people with their DSP softwares and helping it get up and running, they're advancing their tech support all the time. On diamondaudio.com, they're soon to be available specific system downloads, special noise files to help you tune. They know that you need to find these things, and they're hard to find for guys that aren't in the audio industry. And this isn't aimed just at an audio dealer. This is aimed at your motorcycle shop, your hot rod shop, your marine dealership. It really is a DSP that's for the everyman and for the every system. So it's a great program to be a part of. Diamond's put a lot of thought into these products and making them available to every market possible, making them IP rated. And the fact that they have an intuitive software and they've limited the amount of tuning ability to just Windows-based machines, it becomes a very simple program to use.
And last but not least, Dave, from what I understand, the value and the proposed MSRP of this unit is honestly quite shocking. I want to give you every opportunity to announce this because, man, if you want to talk about value, the price point of these units are going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, Ben, outstanding value, of course. The Diamond way. If I had customers guess how much they are, I could make more money on them. But right now, we're $349 for the 6.6 and $399 for the 8.8 MSRP Canadian, which is an outstanding value for all of the feature sets that we get with these DSPs. IP rated, 31 parametric, 24 volts, 6.5 out, you name it, it's there. I don't know of any other DSP in that price category.
And there you have it. You've heard it from the horse's mouth. I want to take this opportunity to thank our special guests today, both Brian Piper representing Diamond Audio and, of course, Dave McLean from Dick's Performance North. If you want more information on any of these Diamond Audio products, I do encourage you to check out the website you see on the screen right now, found at diamondaudio.com. And if you're a Canadian dealer, well, get a hold of Dave and his team at Dick's Performance. There's the website, dicksperformancenorth.com. Now, in my closing comments, this one's going to be simple. Why? Because this DSP offers things that others simply do not. Do we have a tiny chassis that could fit just about anywhere and any application? You bet. Is it IP rated to have that ultimate protection and longevity from the elements, whether it's in a boat, a motorcycle, or beyond? Check that box as well. Is it full featured and has the powerful tools to be able to properly tune between the 31 band EQ and the parametric as well as the phase? This thing has it all with a simple to use GUI. Not to mention, in the box is a Bluetooth functional streamer for your music, which in most cases is an extra add-on. Wrap that all up in the incredible price that Dave just mentioned? I think it speaks for itself. That's it for this CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Until next time, we connect.
There's never been a better time to have SiriusXM with over 150 channels in your vehicle. Your Platinum Plan offer includes more than ever before to enjoy online, on your phone, or at home. Create your own ad-free personalized stations powered by Pandora. Hear ad-free extra channels and enjoy favorite shows with SiriusXM Video on Demand. What you love is on now.